the Superintendent Information Committee meeting of Tuesday, September 3rd, 2019. Let's start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
They just said you can do that.
Okay, let's start with special reports.
Oh, right there, right there.
WIU, Mr. Bill Leonard.
Thank you.
Quick one. Enter or just-
How do I say that? Is that Madam President or Mrs. President? Please say Madam President.
Yeah, Madam President.
Okay. Nothing to report.
All right, thank you, Mr. Leonard. Mr. Petrucci,
Thank you, Madam President.
CWCTC.
Okay. We met on the July 31st for a special meeting because we had a health issue with central administration.
Yes, I agree.
And we had to get some hiring done. But one of the things that we had, his name is Josh Dronged, and he's with a Gray Signal, who we just hired to do our IT work. And I discussed this with Dr. Harris and Jason, and he came in and he went through his whole program we did for us. And I told him to, if he could, at your PAC meeting, Dr. Harris coming up, I mentioned to Eric Westendorf to ask him to present to you superintendents the same thing he presented us, and you guys have questions for him. It'll be an open discussion for all that, and I think that'll be significant. And I asked Mary Ann Lupinetti, who's our, same thing as Brett, our business manager / board secretary, and she says she's very satisfied. She says 24/7 availability, and she says it's going very well. So whenever you're done, he's done talking to you guys, I'd like for you to make a report at our October meeting, how you respond, to the information he's given you, okay? Because she seems like she's very satisfied, and he answers all the questions. He's trying, apparently he's smoothing quite a few things out, but it's good. And also another thing I mentioned, a number of our students at Career Tech, and this year we're approaching 1,100, which is a very nice number for us, that have IEPs. And they're going to discuss that with you for every different shop, and we have that all listed there for you too. You'll read that. And we also hired the Ford Motor Company come through for our auto technology, donating a 2014, I think it's a Fiesta, 2014 Ford Fiesta truck for the students to work on. They've done this before. They make it run, and they disassemble it, and they salvage the parts, but they run it for a couple of years. They keep on maintaining it, and the instructor, he makes it, he tries to help them, first of all, he creates a problem, then he wants them to find the problem that he created, and to challenge them, for their classroom work. And Ford has done this before, but the old car that they were doing before, it got to the point that it was beyond repair, so they just had to salvage it. And we also hired a 12-month secretary, $16 an hour. Her name is Renee Jones, and also Pat Walder, who's a paraprofessional, also going to be hired at $16.14 an hour. Why the 14 cents difference compared to one or the other? I forgot to ask that, but I guess I should have.
Nick, did you say they're looking at and adding someone else for IEP students? Another special ed teacher?
That was being discussed, but I don't think so yet. I don't think so. It could because our numbers are pretty. You'll see the numbers there.
All right, I'll look at.
And Joan, this is for you and Brett. Right now we're running $156,000 under budget, and that's. But I told them because what our administration does to keep everybody happy with the 9 school districts that feed into the central VOTEC, that they always try to send money back to make Happy Harmony. We have some classrooms that need supplies, et cetera, and I mentioned to him last, and Robin Savage, our president, she's always been on top of this, and she says, don't send us much money back. Make sure every classroom has all the equipment they need. So, but right now, there's $156,000 they're running to the good. It's for the budget. So how that's going to work out, I don't know, but that's how it's looking right now.
And we want to consider adding to the welding classes. Always a wait
Oh
list.
my God, there's always.
I said that every year.
When we did that, Matt, we doubled it about 4 or
doubled it.
5 years ago.
And there's still a wait
And
list.
welding are so much a demand. It's just,
Nick,
and those kids are.
they're ready to see be able
Yeah,
to
I mean,
pick it
yeah,
up.
and if you can do underwater welding, like they say, that is, oh my God, the sky's the limit. Those kids.
Because
Is there any more kids seem to be taking interest in? Because I know that was been a problem, getting the kids to show it more, I mean, students to go in.
Yeah, that's true, but no, no, I'm not moving on up, but okay. Okay, that's all, and our next meeting is, September 18th, Madam President, that's all.
All right, thank you, Mr. Petrucci. An executive session was conducted prior to this evening's meeting to discuss the following: potential litigation matters, personnel matters, and to receive legal advice. The board also met to receive information about the revisions to the athletic fields, the Warrior Football Hall of Fame, light and energy upgrades, 2013 bond refund, and district comprehensive plan. Okay, moving on to Dr. Harris, information.
Information. One of the programs we're very excited for, and this goes with our board goals this year, is Slam the Stigma. We're going to be participating, and there's actually some student base participating too as well with teachers and administrators. It's to come learn about student-led programs that support mental health awareness in high schools, and it's going to find out what it takes to start a program in our school. We're sending a team of representatives on October 8th to the Westmoreland IU, and it kind of goes with our board mission, because as you know, the last 2 years, one of our 4 board goals is student mental awareness and improving the quality. If a student is suffering from issues where they can't mentally be present in the school, it's going to be very hard to do anything academic, anything sports, band, music, arts. It dominates their thoughts, so we kind of want to fight the battle, and I'm excited about it. I know several of our administrators and several of our guidance counselors, as well as our students, are going. So that's October 8th, and we'll give you more details afterwards. Mr. Leonard.
Do you know from the IU who's coming?
The presenters, they're actually having all this, every single program in Westmoreland County that supports mental awareness, and they want us to be aware of all the different programs so we know what's available to us, which I thought was great, because I know of some programs, but we might have more out there that we're not using or exploring. So. The one they added last year was pretty interesting, where they have the buses that actually come to the schools, and they have a team of people who can help students with the problem. So I thought that was pretty interesting.
That's coming out of the IU.
Coming from the IU. I'm pretty excited about that. School started this year, obviously. It's when I gave you the back to school numbers, I said we was about 30 more than last year. But unfortunately, some of our kids didn't come who was registered. And believe it or not, last year we had ended with 3,840 students. This year we started with 3,840 students. So it just was even Steven. But it's our first year we haven't lost any students. Every grade from grade 6 up has over 300 students. And we still have 2 classes, grades 2 and grade 5, it's still at the 250s. I'm not sure why we never added kids to those 2 grade levels. It just seems like it never hit those 2 areas. But the other grades are about 270, 280. So it just seems that we're holding on. And we have 283 homes throughout the district available to sell through new development. So that's kind of exciting as well. So
How many?
283. They're in the process of to be sold, to be built, to be like can be built, has all the paperwork, all the requirements.
Does that include the 80 from Manor?
That includes everything throughout the district.
So does that include the, like patio homes?
That includes patio homes.
Okay,
too.
so everything.
And generally for patio homes, we tend to get, we don't usually get children with patio homes,
Okay.
typically.
Thank you.
So our number is exactly the same, Matt? What are you saying?
It's exactly the same.
Exactly the same.
That's
We
funny.
were about 20 some higher when to start off, and that was the August number, but after the 3rd day enrollment, unfortunately, we always have the kids, sometimes we don't get the paperwork for kids who don't come, we wait till the 1st day of school, and the kids who don't show up, we start calling them by the 2nd day of school, and the parents say, oh, we went elsewhere, or no, they're not coming back.
The odds of that happening are just incredible.
I thought so. I thought it was pretty interesting, because I kept thinking I was pulling up this, because I went to power school, I kept thinking I was pulling up last year's data. And I looked at it 2 different times, so I thought I would do that. But I thought that was great, so, pretty exciting. That's all I have for information besides the comprehensive plan, which is actually Mr. Inglese. He's been spending hours his last couple months
Yeah.
working on this.
Thank you, Dr. Harris. Yeah, every 3 years, the state requires districts to submit a comprehensive plan for review. Our current comprehensive plan is expiring in June of this coming June. So we've been working on revamping it and revising it. They don't make you do a total overhaul at this point. You have to go back and make some revisions to your current plan. So as an example, we had to go in and update our board goals, and Dr. Harris spoke to it a little bit. You know, we gave you all an update, I think it was in June, on our board goals. We do that every year. The higher level questioning skills was one of them that we were incorporating. Our English Language Arts program, which we're focusing on, our math program, and the soft skills were some of the 4 goals that we're really focused on this current year. So that's obviously put into the comprehensive plan. Some of the other things that we are doing in there, as an example, we have to update our special ed program, and that was already presented to you as well by Mr. Carazia. I believe he did that back in March with you all, so that part was already approved. There's a lot of Chapter 12 regulations that need to be updated and approved by you all, and then, again, that gets submitted to the state. There's also a section in there that requires us to add a professional education, professional development component for our teachers and administrators and staff, and that's to comply with Chapter 4 and Chapter 49 regulations. So we had a number of professional development programs that we're going to be implementing in the next couple of years. Dr. Harris is working very extensively with our English Language Arts teachers with TDA analysis and those programs. He has after-school training scheduled throughout the school year. We also have science SEP-UP training, which is what it's called. It's basically a new science program that's going to get kids involved in hands-on learning, get them more student-centered classroom, get them involved with science in a more interactive way. The math goal is there. We're addressing that through professional development with 3-act lessons, open-ended questions, error analysis, things of that nature. And then also we have the administrators. We put a lot of our administrators through what's called the NISL program, which is run by the Allegheny IU, but that's an opportunity for them to stay up to date and current on their administrative papers. So those are some of the things that we do in terms of professional development. And like I said, a lot of this is just revamping and redoing the things that we're already doing, making sure that we're checking off boxes to make sure that we have our graduation requirements in there and make sure the curriculum's up to date, things of that nature. So we'll be submitting this to the state after it's on review for 28 days. So after today, we'll put it on our website for public review for 28 days, so anybody can comment or have input on it, and if based on that input or comment by the public and or board, we can make revisions to it and have it for final approval no later than the November board meeting. So we'll ask you for final approval, possibly in October if all goes well, but certainly by November. So that will take us to June 30th of '23 once it gets final approval.
A lot of work goes into that, a lot of work, a lot of things we have to do, but it's everything that we are doing, so it's kind of nice when they ask you the questions and everything we have in place. So it makes for a good school district, good school year. All right, for the agenda for next week.
Dr. Harris?
Yes.
Before you go into the agenda,
Okay,
can I make a suggestion?
sure.
We have some guests here, probably would like to get out of here sooner than later.
I don't
So
blame them.
maybe we can go to them first and then review the agenda for next week, please.
Absolutely.
We have the Penn Trafford
Drum major.
drum majors.
We are the drum majors of the Penn Trafford the band because we would love to invite all of you to our first home competition next Saturday. It'll begin at 7 o'clock and our band goes on at 8. We'd really appreciate it if you came out to see us and support us. As well.
Is that AM or PM? You had me scared for a minute.
How many schools will be here?
Around 6.
6, okay.
6 or 7.
Which college bands, if you don't mind asking?
Teal College and
Could you tell the board a little bit about your show this year?
Sure. So our show, which we've been working on since the early months of the summer, it's based roughly around the movie Gladiator. So it sort of has an old Roman. The show is called the Colosseum, so it has has music from the Gladiator movie. We're super excited. We've got some costuming things going on, a lot of different set pieces. It's a big production.
Instrument differentiations, just.
Concept that what last year was change that we've all been waiting for, and it just shows how dynamic that this group of individuals are capable of.
So this is a show that you created yourselves?
Our band director does a lot of, he writes all of our drill. We get the rights from whoever we're getting the music from, and then Mr. Fernandez does all the drill for the show, and then we add music into it, as well as the props. And
I should have asked you to go to the microphones and stand because this is being taped. And then Mr. Vinton just texted me, he goes, the people in the audience can't hear the advertisement. So I'm sorry, I can move you to the, it's, I know it's too
You
late
gotta
for it
repeat
now.
the whole thing, you just, I'm just teasing.
All right, here we go again.
No.
You don't have to do the whole
Now we
thing.
can see if you're being active. We'll take a look.
Gotcha.
But, so it was 8 o'clock and that's when you perform 8?
Yes.
So it starts at 7?
Are we
Does
hosting
anyone
any other
have?
shows? We usually do another one later in the fall, don't we?
Yes, we have a competition roughly every Saturday with some off weeks.
But are we hosting another one though?
yes.
We have another
in October.
Okay.
Yes, October, it's the TOB regional.
Hence why you said this is your first home call.
Yes.
But I thought there must be another one
Yes,
coming, but you
first
said it
and
was your first.
Now I think about that.
How many band members?
We're competing against several of the other high schools that are coming.
Now who's coming?
Some of them, East Allegheny,
I believe in East West.
and maybe one other one.
But I cannot recall that at this time, I'm sorry.
Well, you just told us before. No, I'm just kidding.
Now, they gave us the colleges.
Well, thank you so much for
Thank you.
inviting us personally.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Absolutely. It's an excellent show. We got a lot of praise for it. After the last 2, we had a huge audience in both football games, and I got a lot of good feedback on the band show. We look nice because we now have the new Pixelite system where we can go through and watch the game live, and it makes the band show live as well. So we're on there. So- I actually went back because sometimes during the game there's so much going on. I actually watched it afterwards live on the tape, so I thought that was pretty neat. So,
That's great to hear.
absolutely. Thank you for all that you do and for a good show.
You know, it's a lot of hard work, a lot of time and dedication on your part.
But it's worth it. It's
I'm sure it is.
You're having fun.
absolutely.
All right. Well, thank you for coming.
Thank you. Have a nice night.
Thank you.
You too.
Thank you.
Back to you. Dr. Harris on the agenda.
What about the other young lady?
Oh, are you with the?
She's
you
our
have some-
student, she's our student rep, remember?
Oh, absolutely. I forgot
Okay.
to almost introduce you.
We don't
You have a
our
report for
agenda.
us?
Do you have a report for us?
Oh, yeah, I can talk about.
Can you do me a favor? Can you go to the stand and can you also make sure the microphone is turned on?
It'll be orange.
Be orange?
An orange button, yeah.
Is that what that last ping was about?
Yes.
I knew it was pinging you about something, I was just wondering what.
We are having microphone difficulties tonight. I do apologize for everyone watching at home. We have the ladies who represent the PT drum majors, and their show is coming up this Saturday at 7 o'clock, and they're going to be competing at 8. But I would actually, because they do such a nice job, I'd show up at 7 and see the whole show. I mean, it's exciting. There's 6 teams performing. I can't tell you how much good work and a lot of hard work goes into it and a lot of praise. All right, and now we have our student representatives.
Hi, I'll reintroduce myself. I'm Haley Hoffmeister, the school board representative, and I feel bad. I haven't been here in a few months, but I'll give you a little update of what I've been up to with senior year starting. So back in June with the school, I went to Costa Rica, and that was awesome. It was through EF Tours for Spanish with Senor and Senora, Senora Birch and Senor Flynn. Which was a life-changing experience. I highly recommend for any student wanting to, travel and be culturally diverse. Another thing that I've been involved in is the high school soccer team. We just had a game on Saturday against Fox Chapel. We lost in overtime 2-1. Our team is small, but we're mighty, and I feel like we will have very good results this season. And last thing that we have been planning for is homecoming. Homecoming is September 28th. We have the parade the 27th, and the theme is superheroes. And for the senior float, we are doing an X-Men theme, which I think will be really fun. X-Men,
Oh,
like the
X-Men.
movie superhero theme.
I've heard of it.
I've never seen it personally, but it should be fun.
What week is homecoming week again?
It's the September 28th.
I always love the week when you see all the kids and everything they do all week. It's a lot of fun just to come up and see. You guys do a great job of putting costumes on or doing different things.
Yeah, I'm excited for the costumes and the superhero.
Great theme for the week. I have to that is a great theme. Does anyone have a question?
Good luck.
Thank you.
Look, a lot of work
With you.
ahead of you, and we appreciate it anytime you come to the meeting. So please feel free to bring back the information.
We look
For
forward
sure.
to working with you this year.
Oh, thank you. You too.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Back
Sure.
to you.
Back to me. Absolutely.
Say the agenda.
For the agenda for next week, under athletics and extracurricular, we're going to ask you to employ athletic extracurricular personnel, approve volunteer coaches. For budget and finance, we're going to ask you to approve the 2019-20 proposed activities and budgets for student organizations and approve bond refunding resolution. We won't have anything under the category 6, 7, or 8. Under personnel and curriculum, we're going to ask you to approve substitute teachers and support personnel, employee personnel, approve leave requests, accept resignations. Under policy, public relations, legislative title 2, we're going to ask you to accept and file information committee meeting minutes of August 12th, 2019, and give final approval of new and revised board policies and admin regulations. And they dealt with updates and changes that occur with how we can hold meetings at PT with the consent rules, Title I comparability of services, compensation plans and salary schedules, Family Medical Leave Acts. So it basically the things we've talked about before, some policies and some slight changes to each one. Under taxes and census, insurance census, we won't have anything to approve, and we already recognized our visitors for tonight. This is back to Tony for adjournment.
Did you have a comment over there, Phil?
Just waving.
All right, at this time, do I have a motion for adjournment?
Motion.
Second.
Okay, meeting adjourned at 7:22.
Hey, Phil, can I see you a second?
Here.